Okay. Nigerians, fellow Nigerians, okay, how are you? My name is Francis Osemeke Onwemele. I'm from Edo State, precisely in Igbanke, but you know Igbanke Agbo, we are the same thing. Born in Ologbo, 20 kilometers from Benin.
Thank you. It's good to have you on the platform, sir.
Right, thank you.
I don't know if people have reached out to you.
Oh my God, yes. In fact,
you're a celebrity now, sir.
my God, as I was walking into the campus today, because my campus is in downtown Toronto, at the staircase, people say, so Nigerians have electricity to watch YouTube and all those. I said, what's wrong with you? He was referring to me. The guy said, she's a Chinese, but she's married to a Nigerian who is in Nigeria. The guy went to Nigeria. He said the husband called her from Nigeria. Said, your professor is on the line. So she now said, Prof, that's I said, yeah, I said, just today. He said, yes. He said, so, but Nigeria has no light. How come what do you mean by we don't have light? So I just pass out and move on. And so on and so forth. But interesting. And then a lot of other challenges from my colleagues in Zenith Bank, from my colleagues in other places, and other banks I worked, and some of other colleagues again in UI, and one of my mentor colleague in UI again, I think he just retired now, there. And of course, some of my other friends who are also in Canada with me, who also jackpot. So then you know that jackpot is of 3 levels. There are people who jackpot because of economic pressure, which are the ones that have been in the last 5-10 years. Those are the ones who say, oh God, please tell them why we jackpot. I said, don't worry. That will be very detailed in explaining, because this country belongs to we all, and the earlier we make it better, the good for us.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know if you could put the camera up on your face so Nigerians can see you.
Yes,
this is my star man. Yeah, this is my prof. It's good to have you on the platform, sir. Thank you so much. I just want to appreciate the fact that what happened yesterday for me, I call it a miracle. It's a miracle because I don't know. I think yesterday was the first time of you speaking on my platform, right?
No, that was the second time.
Okay, the second time. All right, yeah. But I could not even remember. So
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so I was just like, how it happened. Because many people, I saw people say, maybe I know you from somewhere. I said, I don't know this man from anywhere. I broke protocol yesterday and I brought you up, and I was just so elated. I want to say that I've gotten thousands of followers from that video alone. On Facebook, I got close to 10,000 followers just today from that video. The comments, the people, Nigerians are so blown away. It's viral everywhere. Everywhere I posted a video has gone viral, and I'm just so grateful because what you shared, it's actually a 16 minutes video for a country that have a very short attention span to watching clips. People don't watch videos, but I don't watch one at 5-10 minutes. But you spoke for 16 minutes, and I'm certain everybody that started that video watched it to the end because you said a whole lot of things that are very important. You touched about a time in our life in our country that we have not witnessed before. People like me did not see. I intentionally asked you some questions because I know that growing up in Plateau State, I saw water. Please, sir, I want you to start this conversation with a little bit of yourself. If you want to, as much details that you can give. You're not obliged to give more than you want to give. Let Nigerians know who you are.
Okay.
And actually, your passion for why you're speaking at this point in time.
Okay. Nigerians, fellow Nigerians, okay, how are you? My name is Francis Osemeke Onwemele. I'm from Edo State, precisely in Igbanke, but you know Igbanke Agbo, we are the same thing. Born in Ologbo, 20 kilometers from Benin. And was one of those people blessed by Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria, in Ajegule, and had the best of time. Trust me, guys, I'm not kidding. In Ajegule, yes, Ajegule. Had the best of time. In Ajegule, we lived in Imba Street, in Yaya Crescent, in Kumuyi, in Muyubi. The last part we lived before my father retired in 1972 was in Yaya Crescent, number 19. After my primary school year, my primary school in Lagos, now went to, did my secondary school in Bendel State, remember? That used to be Bendel before I do that.
Yes, old Benders.
Yeah, Bender State, and completed my program in Bender State, and then it has been wonderful all through. That is then, of course, came back to Lagos after my secondary school. No, went back to the university in Suka first year, and then moved down by the grace of the funding from the used to be called Federal Office of Statistics, now National Bureau of Statistics, scholarship program meant for students, Nigerians. That is gone now. So went back from there. Then when I finished my university education, my first lecturing exercise was in Yabatek. And my ambition has always been to be a lecturer, to be a professor. The reason is this. In my 5-6 years in UI, the guys that gave me the greatest joy in my life are the professors. Why? Because I was able to meet Professor Lubumo, the first, is it African or Nigerian professor, PhD holder in mathematics from Ekiti State. I was privileged to meet Professor Chikobi, even though he was in Unilag, but he comes regularly to UI. I was able to meet Professor Wole Soyinka, Professor Kumuyi. Just name this guy that are almost like a deity in academics. And one thing I learned about them, Professor Fonja also. The first thing, all these are, if any of them is alive now, I can't be less than 85, 90 years old. When you get close to them, you realize that these guys are wonderful people. Even though they look more like a spirit when you read their book. Professor Abayode, Professor Tomori, I keep remembering their name. These are professors I went through. And they made me fall in love with academics. Their life was simple. Very simple. And UI was so, the architectural design of UI and the landscape was so beautiful. You know that I could stay in the campus for 3 months without getting to the gate of the campus. Gentlemen, when you go to eat in the cafeteria in UI, you will eat your amala or pandayam or whatever you eat or rice. And you have free apple and banana and orange to pick for free when you are going out. That was when the first story came, that it is when you have no money that you get so hungry. So I thought I will have my ticket, 50 kobo per meal, 3 tickets a day. For a month, that is 45 tickets. At the end of the month, I probably have about 15 tickets left I did not use. Why? Because I could not keep feeding 3 times a day. That's how beautiful that country was. And I enjoyed it in the university. And we continue that way till we keep hearing that how our even predecessors enjoyed even more than ourselves. People like Chief Jim Wobodo, who was in the same hall with me, whom we invited. He was then the governor of Anambra State. We invited him as our guest in our Bello Hall celebration. And he was telling us how they were enjoying. And he came in and installed telephone in all in the hall for communication and many more. And then I think it was in the last year, 1986, that the disaster began to fall in, where they stopped feeding us 50 kobo per meal. And I knew that there's a problem coming up. That is a bit of when I went to Nigeria. I went to Lagos, worked in Yabatek, moved into Wema Bank as the chief. As the economic analyst for Chief Adigbite, another great man in my life. Then before I joined Zenith, and in Zenith now built Zenith by the grace of Jimovia built my perception of corporate Nigeria and corporate perception of success. But my eyes were still in academics. So when I attained a good level in Zenith, I was looking and saying, my God, I needed to go and do what I love doing because Zenith was paying very well. Now, I don't know what they're still paying well, but the system of coming to banking industry now, I learned that it's a lot of contract. But then it was fantastic. That's a bit of me. Then by the time I got to a good level in Zenith, I started to take my kids. And I said, look, the way I'm looking at Nigeria and given what Abacha did, this country will be challenged. Let me give my children a second opportunity. That was where the beginning of the journey to Canada came. It wasn't because Nigeria was getting that bad as such, but it was deteriorating. And I brought them here. And I was telling them, look at. My first shocker in Canada was that I saw education was free, primary was free, secondary was free. Because I remember in NPN campaigning that time, when Chief Obafemi Awolowo was telling them that education can be made to be free. And they said it's a lie that nowhere in the world where education is free. My first shocker that I go to Canada, I found out primary school was free, secondary school was free, and I said, oh my God. But that has been my journey. But since then, I've been molding people in Canada. I've been teaching statistics, teaching mathematics, teaching project management. I'm molding this thing. And with the hope that one day I will come back. Now I am prepared to come back. But the insecurity is telling me, hey, and I'm lamenting and I'm crying. As I am to you, as I am here today, I have a 20 acres land in Nasarawa prepared for farm. I can't go there. I have another one in Meadow State. I have my workers there too. But I have not been there for 5 years. Why? Insecurity. So just remember, that's a picture of me. And I want the younger ones to please pay attention. When I mean younger ones, I don't mean people of no vote. I mean people of 45 and below. Open your ears and listen to me. Forget about your tribe. Forget about your religion. Because this country can be recovered. This country can be made great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Let me start with this, please. Thank you so much. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, you've been listening to the voice of Professor Sir, what's the first name again, please?
Francis Osemeke, Onwemelem.
Professor Francis Osemeke, from Edo State.
Yeah, Igbanke,
yes, from Edo State. So, Nigeria, sir, at this point in time, we are so divided along different lines.
That's why it's so painful, man. You have no reason to be divided. No reason.
Because that's one of the comments I saw in my comment section when I say, they say, somebody's, and I wrote I checked the guy's profile, and a young boy, he should be in his 20s, and it's like, see, this man, and I'm brother now, that's why he's supporting Pitobina and brother. I'm like, I don't even know where you're from till today. Till now, you just said where you're from. I never knew where you're from, because for me, first of all, what attracted me to you was what you were saying, how you came out, what I was hearing. And that's like, I believe, what attracted so many Nigerians to your side. But it's good you schooled in the Southwest. You know these people for
yes,
personally. So it's important we set that record straight so we can jump to the conversation. And for the bigots that are already in the building, are already shaking and fidgeting. Oh, no. This is not that field today. We're talking Nigeria today. So please, guys, I just want to encourage every one of you one more time. Please, let's share the live. Everybody repost the live. Thank you so much. About 100,000 likes already. Our target is 300,000 likes. Please keep our tapping. Please keep sharing. And on other platforms also, if you have questions for him, please drop your questions. And also, if you're of the age of the people, because I want to also say this for those that experience Nigeria, that experience this kind of Nigeria, please, this is the time to be very audible. This is a time to be very vocal with your experience. Let younger Nigerians understand what we have missed. Look at what Oga is saying here. £5, is it 5 kobo? I mean, is it
50 kobo per meal?
50 kobo per meal.
Yeah.
Many people don't understand that in foreign nations, they still use coins. I have coins that I use up until now. And it's a coin where I am is stronger than it's almost equivalent. It's stronger than the Nigerian 1,000 naira note. A coin. And it's very active here. It's only in Nigeria that we have phased out our coin. Our 15 naira is of no use anymore, right? So let's jump into politics. Let's come here. Before we jump into politics, what do you think has been the problem of the country, from your experience, from where you're coming from? And you also said 1986. Coincidentally, 1986 is also the year that Buhari came into power, if I'm not wrong.
No, he came into power 83.
83, okay, sorry. So Buhari was in power
83. Yeah.